Hello everyone, my name is Christoph Montes Cruz and I did my video on uranium oxide. So what is uranium oxide? It's also known as urania or uranous oxide. It's an oxide of uranium and it's a black radioactive crystalline powder that naturally occurs in the mineral uraninite. It is used in nuclear fuel rods for nuclear reactors. And a mixture of uranium and plutonium dioxides is used to make MOX fuel, which is one of the main fuels used nowadays in the nuclear world. But from the 1830s to the 1950s, it was used as a yellow and black color in ceramic glazes and glass until the adverse effects of radioactivity were understood. Uranium dioxide is produced by reducing uranium trioxide with hydrogen. UO2 is used mainly as nuclear fuel nowadays, specifically as a mixture of UO2 and plutonium dioxide, and that's what makes the MOX fuel, and it makes it in the form of fuel rods and nuclear reactors. Uranium oxide was used to color glass and ceramics prior to World War II. Again, until they found out what radioactivity was doing to people, and then it was basically stopped. So how is it mined? Uranium resources can be extracted from the ground in three ways. So there's open pit mining, there's underground mining, and then there's in situ leach recovery mining. Open pit mining is only possible if the uranium ore is near the surface, which is around 400 feet or less from the surface. An example of this is the Jackpot mine on the Pueblo, which was once the world's largest open pit uranium mine. Underground mining is used to get at a higher concentration of uranium, but when they're too deep to get at from open pit mining. The ore is drilled and then it's blasted to create debris, which is then transported to the surface, then onto a mill. That's what underground mining is done for, at least for uranium. And then there is in situ recovery mining. While not all uranium ore deposits are amenable to ISR, it is the preferred method to extract uranium since it is far cheaper to get the ores out of the ground, and it is considered more environmentally friendly than traditional underground or open pit mines. In situ recovery mining involves leaving the ore where it is in the ground and recovering the minerals from it by dissolving them and pumping the pregnant solution to the surface where the minerals can be recovered. Consequently, there's little surface disturbance and no tailings or waste rock generated, which makes it very clean. However, the ore body needs to be permeable to liquids used and located so that it does not contaminate groundwater away from the ore body. Specifically, uranium in situ leaching is used or uses the native groundwater in the ore body, which is fortified with a complexing agent, and in most cases as an oxidant or an oxidant. It is then pumped through the underground ore body to recover the minerals in it by leaching. Once the pregnant solution is returned to the surface, the uranium is recovered in much the same way as like any other uranium plant, like a uranium mill. In either the acid or alkali leaching method used in this, the fortified groundwater is pumped into the aquifer via a series of injection wells, where it slowly migrates through the aquifer, leaching the uranium-bearing host sand on its way to strategically placed extraction wells, where submersible pumps pump the liquid to the surface for processing. So, for the manufacturing process, typically yellow cake is obtained through the milling and chemical processing of uranium. The conventional uranium mill is a chemical plant that extracts uranium using the following process. So there's trucks that deliver the uranium ore to the mill. It's then crushed into smaller particles before being extracted. In most cases, sulfuric acid is the leaching agent, but alkaline solutions can also be used to leach the uranium from the ore. In addition to extracting 90 to 95% of the uranium from the ore, the leaching agent also extracts several other heavy metals like vanadium, selenium, lead, arsenic. Um, then next, this pulverized ore is dried and filtered, and what's left is a coarse powder that is often yellow, but can also be other colors depending on the remaining impurities. These colors can range from yellow, green, blue, red, orange. There's plenty of different colors, and at this stage, it's called yellow cake, and it contains 80% to 90% pure uranium. It's then packaged in steel drums. And then finally, the yellow cake is transported to a uranium conversion facility where it's processed through the stages of nuclear fuel cycle to produce fuel for use in nuclear power reactors. Um, the final form of the fuel that's produced is in the form of sintered pellets. They're then inserted in the fuel rods, sealed, cleaned, and stored. The waste form of powder and broken pellets may be recycled. So ceramics can be particularly radioactive if some compound or uranium has been used to impart color, whether it's like orange reddish, green, yellow, black, and this is added to the glaze. It is widely known that uranium was used in the glaze of orange red Fiesta dinnerware, which is, I guess, a very popular dinnerware company. But uranium glazes have also been used in other types of ceramics, such as like wall and floor tiles. It's been used in pottery, laboratory ceramics, etc. Um, the glaze can serve two functions. It provides the color, and it seals the ceramic. You can also find this in like a lot of souvenirs, trinkets, glassware, decorative lamps, and stained glass. Um, but the main thing, or the most popular um, glaze that was used, was in red Fiesta. Um, and indeed, the red glazes produced by all U.S. pottery of the era is known for having a detectable amount of uranium oxide in its glaze to produce the bright orange-red color. So during World War II, the government took control of uranium. Homer Laughlin and other potteries had to discontinue the use of uranium-containing glazes. Fiesta Red was discontinued before 1944 because all uranium was controlled by the U.S. government while developing the Manhattan Project. So then vintage red Fiesta plates, um, they're more radioactive, not necessarily harmful, um, or more harmful than other radioactive housewares, such as like uranium glass. Um, but the radiation level is so low that most dinnerware collectors aren't concerned about it. Fiesta Red was reintroduced in 1959 when the Atomic Energy Commission released its restrictions on uranium oxide, which right there, the picture on the bottom right, that's like the reddish color. Um, Having an X-ray conducted once causes much greater radiation damage than using such china or dinnerware over a prolonged period. Um, at the present, government and third-party studies have concluded that all widely distributed uranium containing consumer china, so like Fiesta and there's other brands as well, is safe for food consumption, but it's not recommended for food storage due to the possibility of leaching of uranium or other heavy metals into food, especially like acidic foods. And here are my references.